Hello to anybody that might be watching on YouTube. This is John Lobdell. I'll be reading some poetry of mine and some other people's tonight. I hope you enjoy it. And please subscribe. Okay, well, I'm going to start in like I usually do with a little body-mind centering from the Brima body work, which we do by rubbing our hands till they get nice and warm. And placing right over your eyes. Taking some big breaths. Do that a couple more times. Okay. Clean my glasses. So let's see. Now, sometimes I like to start with something new, and I did write one this week. It's a little rough since it's new, but we'll try it out. Has no title yet. The great oak, covered in gray-green lichens, supports a huge limb horizontal over the pathway. This solemn strength, a constancy of trustworthiness. This is a numbered poem, so that was number 1. This is number 2. Walking under this limb, it must be 1,000,000 to 1 odds it would fall on me. Life is full of such dangers, though, unlikely and more likely. This, too, a kind of constancy. Number 3. Someday I will not be walking this path. The body is not a constant. This tree will fall eventually, too. Is there any real constant in the universe? Some say it is an as yet undiscovered equation. Others say it is God. Number 4. Walking further, a little girl, all giggles and cuteness, smiles at me. This seems timeless. The past and future is a constant line. A little girl is warming our hearts. Number 5. Every once in a while, I jump out of the stream of time, sit on the bank, and watch from some place constantly available in the now. Number 6. And sometimes I am a fish in that stream, moving my tail fin to stay still, facing upstream, ready for whatever floats my way, constantly experiencing the joys and sorrows of life.
I like that.
Yeah, it's sort of my homage to a ghazal, where they have a constant theme, consistent theme for all the parts of the poem. In this case, it was constancy. I think find out. Okay, let's see what else. Read some from my new book. I think I read this one. Leaving. Every spring the nasturtiums come up near the fence. First the roundish leaves, then a multitude of orange flowers, and every once in a while a yellow one. They last 2 or 3 months, then recede out of sight into the earth until next spring. I've tried to keep them alive with water, but they stubbornly disappear. They know their time. Every time I've tried to hold on to something, it's like this. Like a butterfly on a branch, it flies away. If I caught it, it would die. Like water in a river, by moving towards source, it captures oxygen from the air. If it stopped flowing, it would become stagnant and sick. I'm sad when people or things leave, yet even the melancholy makes a depression that captures life-giving water from the radiant rain. Time. Spring is bursting out like crazy in my yard. Roses, azaleas, abutilon, and now the pure white irises. The perennial youth in me is dreaming of new adventures, while the old part of me wants to understand time. Wasn't just yesterday winter? It's only when I sit down and know the simplest things, like feeling my weight and breathing, that I see past and future like a movie, and I'm sitting in the audience, enjoying my popcorn in the here and now. I didn't even remember writing that. Let's see. Oh, here's one about sports. Joy. It's late in the fourth quarter. The score is too close. I can't stand to watch anymore. Why am I so emotionally invested in whether a group of men I don't know win or not? Maybe it's because in my life there is no clear winning or losing. I have some fanciful idea of what it is to win, but winning and losing are tied together. Winning is like being a drug addict. Sure, the high feels wonderful, but ultimately there is only misery. Why did Jesus preach to the losers? At least they were free of the illusion of winning. Joy exists in not caring whether we win or lose. When the coin goes in the air and I've chosen one side or the other, what I really want is for it to land on its edge. I like that. Okay, that's enough of mine. Yeah, let's see. Glenda, you sent me some, I'm sure. Let's see.
One poster I wrote yesterday.
Do you want me to read the one that's a screenshot, or do you want me to read?
I don't know. It starts with it's like a dog.
Yeah, I can barely hear you.
Um,
Must be a bad.
um,
I have
it's because it's your blind dog. Um, you can put which one you want.
Okay. I'll read that last one you wrote. Let's see. I think I read Winter Tears already. Maybe I didn't.
Yeah, thank you. The one that the latest one I wrote yesterday stuff about my daughter's dog.
Okay, I'll read that one. This is titled Chipper. This is about a little dog. He's a cute little dog. You see it?
Yeah.
Chipper. I know you're racing among the clouds in the sun. I know you're playing with the new friends you've found. I know you're looking over your shoulder for me. I'll be there soon, at least in heaven's time. I'll think of chasing both you and your toys. I'll remember a cold snuff in my ear at night. I'll think of the 105 years of your life, though it seems more like just 15 to me. Smile as you rest and the sun warms your face. But remember, you warm my heart just as much. Sleep well, my friend, as you've earned with joy. You gave to us freely, the prince of our pack. I won't forget the gleam in your eyes. When you saw I was coming to knock on the door, I know you'll be waiting in a new place you found, the cotton of heaven to explore with glee. We knew when you showed us, your family and me, that your memory will guard us wherever you'll be, lost in the clouds or waiting for me. Aw. How long ago did Chipper pass on?
Yesterday.
Hmm?
Yesterday.
Oh my goodness. This is new. Oh dear. Yeah. Well, I hope to see my pets when I go to heaven. Hmm. All right. Barbara is giving you her heart. She's driving, so she doesn't want to talk. Let's see. Let's read a little bit of some other people's. This is Rilke. Well, this is one of my favorite poems. I just happened to see it. The Man Watching. I can tell by the way the trees beat after so many dull days on my worried window panes that a storm is coming, and I hear the far-off fields say things I can't bear without a friend. I can't love without a sister. The storm, the shifter of shapes, drives on across the woods and across time, and the world looks as if it had no age. The landscape, like a line in a psalm book, is seriousness and weight and eternity. What we choose to fight is so tiny. What fights with us is so great. If only we would let ourselves be dominated, as things do, by some immense storm, we would become strong too, and not need names. When we win, it's with the small things, and the triumph itself makes us small. What is extraordinary and eternal does not want to be bent by us. I mean the angel who appeared to the wrestlers of the Old Testament, when the wrestlers' sinews grew long like metal strings. He felt them under his fingers like chords of deep music. Whoever was beaten by this angel, who often simply declined the fight, went away proud and strengthened, and great from the harsh hand that kneaded him as if to change his shape. Winning does not tempt that man. This is how he grows, by being defeated decisively by constantly greater beings. You know, when I saw that one, I didn't know I was going to read that one of mine about winning and losing. That was a nice synchronicity. I love that line about winning does not tempt that man. Let's see. What else do I got?
There have been a lot of stories. I think it's like the whole thing. If you keep looking, and you hear me. I
Hmm.
think it's something weather.
Maybe it's the weather, yeah. It's pretty garbled. I can just barely hear some of your words.
Yeah.
Well,
And you keep freezing.
it's freezing there?
No, no, you keep freezing.
Yeah, it's pretty garbled. Sorry.
Okay,
Well, next time.
I'll text her that.
This one's called Happiness by Raymond Carver. I think I read this one before. That's okay. So early, it's still almost dark out. I'm near the window with coffee and the usual early morning stuff that passes for thought when I see the boy and his friend walking up the road to deliver the newspaper. They wear caps and sweaters, and one boy has a bag over his shoulder. They are so happy. They aren't saying anything, these boys. I think if they could, they would take each other's arms. It's early in the morning, and they are doing this thing together. They come on slowly, the sky is taking on light, though the moon still hangs pale over the water. Such beauty that for a minute, death and ambition and even love doesn't enter into this. Happiness, it comes on unexpectedly and goes beyond, really, any early morning talk about it. Like that. That was another one I like a lot. Hoeing by John Updike. I sometimes fear the younger generation will be deprived of the pleasures of hoeing. There is no knowing how many souls have been formed by this simple exercise. The dry earth, like a great scab, breaks, revealing the moist, dark loam, the pea root's home, a fertile wound perpetually healing. How neatly the green weeds go under. The blade chops the new earth. Ignorant the wise boy who has never performed this simple, stupid, and useful wonder. Mm-mm. It doesn't sound like. I've read a few novels of John Updike. It doesn't sound like him. Anyway, I like it. Let's see. Here is some details of Hebridean house construction. I have read this before, but it's fun. By Thomas Clark. The walls are built with unmortared boulders, the external faces having an inward slope, the corners rounded. Roofs are thatched with straw, ferns, or heather, and weighted with stones hung from heather ropes. Instead of overhanging, the roof is set back on a broad wall top, which in the course of time becomes mantled with grass and verdure, which may provide occasional browsing for a sheep or goat. Back to the wind, face to the sun is the general orientation. The floor is of beaten earth, and the main room is reached by way of the byre. There are no windows. Ooh. And the frugal flame of the peat gives the only illumination. Smoke wanders and finds egress by a hole in the roof. In the outer aisles, the floor is covered with a white sand from the maquiere, whatever that is. A few steps ascend the wall near the door to enable the roof to be thatched or roped, or the family to sit in the summer weather and sew and chat or knit. By the peat store, near to the doorway, is placed a large stone for the wanderer to sit on. Here's one called I Stopped Writing the Poem by Tess Gallagher. I stopped writing the poem to fold the clothes. No matter who lives or who dies, I'm still a woman. I'll always have plenty to do. I bring the arms of his shirt together. Nothing can stop our tenderness. I'll get back to the poem. I'll get back to being a woman. But for now, there's a shirt, a giant shirt in my hands, and somewhere a small girl standing next to her mother, watching to see how it's done. Hmm. I guess I never had that experience. I usually just wash my clothes and throw them in the heap, like guys do. Here's one called Manners for a Child of 1918 by Elizabeth Bishop. She was a famous poet, right? Or writer, I think. I don't know my older poets. My grandfather said to me as we sat, huh?
It was really good. Improvement. But why are you sitting quite start with themselves?
Must have company.
Oh, all those.
Anyway, it's called Manners by Elizabeth Bishop. My grandfather said to me as we sat on the wagon seat, be sure to remember to always speak to everyone you meet. We met a stranger on foot. My grandfather. Hey, Glenda, we're picking up your background
No,
talking.
that's not me.
Is that you?
It's not me.
Hey, what are we
It's
hearing?
Hillary.
Oh, we're hearing Hillary. Let me see. I think I can mute her. Okay, I'm gonna mute Hillary. I think she did that by mistake. We were hearing her in the background. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, Mercury retrograde, says Barbara. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Hillary realized her mic went on. I've done that. We've all done that. Anyway, back to Elizabeth Bishop. My grandfather said to me as we sat on the wagon seat, be sure to remember to always speak to everyone you meet. We met a stranger on foot. Boy, that's back in the day, huh? That's interesting. You wouldn't say that nowadays. A kinder, gentler time, maybe. Anyway, start again. My grandfather said to me as we sat on the wagon seat, be sure to remember to always speak to everyone you meet. We met a stranger on foot. My grandfather's whip tapped his hat. Good day, sir. Good day. A fine day. And I said it and bowed where I sat. Then we overtook a boy we knew with his big pet crow on his shoulder. Always offer everyone a ride. Don't forget that when you're older, my grandfather said. So Willie climbed up with us, but the crow gave a caw and flew off. I was worried. How would he know where to go? But he flew a little way at a time, from fence post to fence post ahead. And when Willie whistled, he answered. A fine bird, my grandfather said. And he's well brought up. See, he answers nicely when he's spoken to. Man or beast, that's good manners. Be sure you both always do. When automobiles went by, the dust hid the people's faces, but we shouted, good day, fine day at the top of our voices. When we came to Hustler Hill, he said that the mare was tired, so we all got down and walked, as our good manners required. Well, that really sounds like like the old days. We all talk to strangers. There's one by, what's his name? James Wright. In Ohio, white mares lashed to the sulky carriages trot softly around the dismantled fairgrounds near Buckeye Lake. The sandstone blocks of a wellspring, cool dark green moss, The sun floats down, a small golden lemon dissolves in the water. I dream as I lean over the edge of a crawdad's mouth. The cellars of haunted houses are like ancient cities, fallen behind a great heap of apples. A widow on a front porch puckers her lips and whispers. I wonder how he got that line, I dream as I lean over the edge of a crawdad's mouth. By a lake in Minnesota. Upshore from the cloud, the slow wail of a country twilight, the spume of light falls into valleys full of roses. And below, out of the placid waters, two beavers, mother and child, wave out long ripples to the dust of dead leaves on the shore. And the moon walks hunting for hidden dolphins behind the darkening combers of the ground. And down shore from the cloud I stand waiting for dark. Maybe one more by him. Beginning, the moon drops one or two feathers into the field. The dark wheat listens. Be still now. There they are, the moon's young, trying their wings. Between trees, a slender woman lifts up the lovely shadow of her face. And now she steps into the air. Now she is gone, wholly into the air. I stand alone by an elder tree. I do not dare breathe or move. I listen. The wheat leans back towards its own darkness, and I lean towards mine. Yeah, Zoom's telling me I'm running out of time. Yep. I'll read one by Denise Levertov. To Olga. When the last sunlight had all seeped down behind the woods and taken colors and shadows with it, leaving us not in darkness, but in the presence of an absence, with everything still visible, but empty of soul. When we trudged on, knowing our home was miles and hours away, and the real dark overtaking us, and mother and father waiting, anxious by now, and soon growing angry, because again we've traveled too far and away, leaving almost as if not to return. What did you, almost grown up, feel as we spoke less and less, too tired for fantasy? I was afraid for them, for their fear, and of its show of anger. But not of the night. I felt the veil of sadness descend. But I was never afraid for us. We were benighted, but not lost, and I trusted utterly that at last, however late we'd get home. No owl, no lights, the dun ridges of plowland fading. No matter, I trusted you. Okay. Time for one last Mary. Oh, here's funny. She wrote a poem about James Wright. Let me go read that. A lesson from James Wright. This is Mary Oliver. If James Wright could put in his book of poems a blank page dedicated to the horse David, who ate one of my poems, I am ready to follow him along the sweet path he cut through the dryness, and suggest that you sit now, very quietly, in some lovely wild place, and listen to the silence. And I say that this too is a poem. That's a long one. Time for that one. The gift. After the wind-bruised sea furrowed itself back into the folds of blue, I found in the black rack, W-R-A-K-C-K, a shell called the Neptune, tawny and white, spherical with a tail and a tower and a dark door, and all of it no larger than my fist. It looked, you might say, very expensive. I thought of its travels in the Atlantic's wind-pounded bowl and wondered that it was still intact. Ah, yes, there was that door that held only eventual, inevitable emptiness. There's always that. Still, what a house to leave behind. I held it like the wisest of books and imagined its travels toward my hand. And now your hand. I like that. Okay, guys. I'm going to sign off here.
Thank you, John.
So goodbye to you, Glenda and Roxanne and Barbara and Hillary, if you're listening.
Thanks, John.
Oh, thanks, Roxanne.
Sorry for your loss, Glenda, of Chipper.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. I'm going to have a nice week, everyone. I'll see you next week on Wednesday again. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, all.